Well, let's have a chat with some of the locals who've come down to see us this morning, because on site here, which, if you've just switched your radio on, is a lay-by this site, directly opposite the Wally's Quarry landfill. I'm here, producer Matt's here, Tracy Higgins, our Staffordshire political reporter, is here, the boss is here, so I've got to be on my super best behaviour, and the boss is currently speaking to some of the locals. Two have come over to speak to me here, though, people who've been having to live and put up with this smell for a long time. Audrey Young lives just down the road, and Dr. Mick Salt lives about a mile away too. Who shall I speak to first? I'm going to speak to Audrey first because she's more my height. Mick's massive. He's nearly as tall as producer Matt. Morning, by the way, if you've just gone past in a red convertible. Lovely car. You've done a great job in keeping it clean. Now, Audrey, first of all, your reaction to the news yesterday?
Absolutely fantastic. It's give us all hope that something's finally going to get done.
Is hope the key word, or is it now, given what was said yesterday in the High Court, expectation?
Expectation, definitely, and well, both, and hope. It feels like somebody's finally taking up the community seriously. Just
put into context, for those people who don't live in the Silverdale area or the Newcastle-under-Lyme area, just put into context and kind of paint the picture of what life has been like living here for you.
Absolutely horrific. It's like this week alone, every single night we've woke up because the gases are in a house. We get headaches, nosebleeds, respiratory problems, mental health problems, and it's just horrendous. Our pets are getting ill and we can't escape it.
Just talk to us about what the mental health side has been like, because I'm guessing it's been affecting you, because have you felt trapped? Is that kind of basically what's led to the mental health issues for a lot of people? Yeah,
about 3 months ago I actually had a mental health breakdown because I was getting no sleep because of the landfill, and sleep's a big trigger. So all my medications have had to change, which was quite scary on my children, really. And I was just so exhausted, and it was horrendous.
You okay now? You're smiling and everything?
Oh, I do. I always smile. Yeah, I'm doing better now, especially after yesterday's news. Doing a lot better. Thank you.
Well, good to see you. Now, I wish I'd got one of those 2-metre poles with me, because I'm going to have to speak now to Dr. Mick Salt, who... Is he a foot taller than me? He's about producer Matt's height, so he can't be that far off. It's probably me that's short, Mick, rather than you that's massively tall. Good morning.
Good morning.
Just first of all, your reaction to what you heard yesterday morning. What was it, just after 10 when the news was announced?
Oh, it was an absolutely fantastic result. I don't mind admitting I actually burst into tears, because the amount of effort that I've put into this. I was working on the technical discussions, on holiday till 1 a.m. on this, and so to see this come to fruition, it was just amazing.
What was the feeling like amongst people around the area? Because I'd imagine it's just been relief for so many.
Oh yes, absolute relief, because what the problem is here is that people feel they've not been listened to. For instance, Erin Bell, our MP, wrote to the Environment Agency in September last year, and on the 5th of October the Environment Agency wrote back, and regarding his request for additional air monitoring, they said no, because we do not believe there'll be any substantial changes to the data that we've already got. And then, of course, they put those air monitors in on the first weekend of March, and they found they were breaching the World Health Organization health-based guidance for hydrogen sulfide. So, and this is the battle we've had with Public Health England as well. They've been trying to downplay it all, and I've done battle with them on Twitter as well, and eventually they relented and agreed that I was right with regards to the mid-term health effects. And then, so to get this High Court judgment, it feels like we are being listened to, and it's fantastic.
People having an argument on Twitter? Surely not. That never happens, does it? Even though this ruling was passed yesterday, historic ruling in the High Court, just reading some comments on social media and just listening to a few people, I've heard quite a bit of scepticism. People just go, well, I'll believe it when I see it, or more to the point, I'll believe it when I don't smell it. Are you confident these deadlines are going to be hit?
I couldn't possibly say, actually. I need to actually look through the data myself properly and see whether it's achievable. But for the community, for me, this is a huge strategic win. The practical implications are probably quite small, but this is the first win, and then from here we carry that momentum and we make sure that this situation is resolved.
If you don't mind me saying, you both seem quite emotional this morning. You can just tell how relieved and how much of a burden how relieved you're feeling and how much of a burden this has been.
Oh yes, hugely relieved. I mean, I'm quite fortunate where I live that because of the lay of the land, it doesn't actually affect my house so much, but you know, it affects so many people, so I felt that I had to come to stand for the community because I have a scientific background, so I knew to challenge the technical documents and just stand up for the little man, really.
Oh, the irony with you being a foot taller than I am. Audrey, now, one of the first people I spoke to when we arrived here this morning was one of the police officers who's actually still here. And me and Matt, we had a bit of a smell, and we just went, we can smell it. But he went, this is nowhere near as bad as it has been. What's it like in comparison to what it has been like, in your opinion, this morning as we stand here now?
I can smell it, but it's not as bad as it normally is. This is quite mild, and at night time it seems worse because it just doesn't seem to disappear, and it gets in your homes, it gets in your clothes. So yeah, this is quite mild.
And just very quickly, Mick, there's another legal challenge coming up. Just very briefly tell us about that.
Yes, that's being led by Lucy O'Brien, and that's actually going to be a human rights challenge against the operator of the site, Wallace Quarry Limited, formerly known as Red Industries RM Limited.
Lovely. Thank you ever so much for coming down. Really do appreciate it. Lovely to meet you both. If you're now going back to stand with my boss over there, just tell her how lovely I've been, because I might get a rise. You never know. It's worth a try, isn't it? That's Dr. Mick Salt and Audrey Young speaking to